Going back to school can bring up a lot of different emotions for kids, for families, for everybody. And when that happens, sleep often ends up being affected too. The Public Health Agency of Canada says 1 in 4 Canadian kids, they don't sleep enough. This is combined, obviously, in the fall with an earlier wake-up time and a more strict schedule. This can have kids struggling to readjust. So we have sleep expert Amanda Jewson joining me now in studio to help our kids rest better during this time of year. Great to have you in.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the emotions side of this. When we're heading back to school, what are the things that come up?
I mean, I think right away about my kids, I know, my kids are so different. My oldest, she's bummed. She's had the summer of her life. She loves her life. Kids can feel really sad about going back, especially when summer has been great. And, there's a loose schedule. You've alluded to some late bedtimes. There's a little more freedom. So going back to the 9 to 5 of school can be a bummer. Kids can be really overwhelmed with school. And I always talk about my kids who are going into JK, my kids going from junior school to middle school or middle school to high school. These transitions are overwhelming. They often have a lot of orientation, new routines, new structures, sometimes brand new schools. So that overwhelm can be really significant. Kids are worried. Kids are anxious. Is my best friend going to be in my class? What's my new teacher going to be like? How's this new grade? And finally, if you are like little Amanda, I talked about the negative emotions. Kids can just be excited. I love school. I would count down the days literally from June to August. And kids can really bring that, and it does impact sleep.
Yeah, positive or negative, there is an impact on sleep. So how does it affect the sleep?
So often, I think back to myself the night before school, it's falling asleep for sure, whether that's a negative emotion or positive emotion, that oh my gosh, those big feelings can make it really hard for sleep onset. So some kids toss and turn. That is going to impact sleep duration. And this is a part of the interview where I like to remind viewers, kids need a lot of sleep, even your older kids. So 9 to 11 hours, which feels like a lot. I'm talking for my middle schoolers and my high schoolers, they do need a lot of sleep, anywhere from 9 to 11 hours. Then, again, if you are going to bed with high emotions, good or bad, that can impact your nervous system, creating partial arousals. That's going to impact your sleep quality and increase those wakings overnight.
Okay, so let's talk numbers here. We know that sleep is important. In fact, a Canadian study from 2022 indicates that 90% of kids with high sleep quality also have better mental health. So I feel like I know the answer. I know this of myself. When I sleep well, I feel better.
Yeah.
Why is sleep so closely connected with mental health?
It does everything, right? You've said it yourself. After a great night of sleep, our nervous system is lowered. We feel like we're able to accomplish more. We're able to handle these big emotions. So all of those emotions that I talked about, when you are rested and your brain is ready to tackle them, you're able to work through them. We don't want to avoid them. We want to be able to work through them. What was also a really interesting part of this study also, because people are going to hear this and they're like, tonight's the night. We are putting in all of the things for sleep. You are sleeping better. But the study actually found that parents who have strict and authoritarian rules around sleep, actually their mental health wasn't as good as children with more flexible routines. So it's really a little bit of a catch-22 that you need to do the sleep thing right.
Right, so how do we do that?
How do we do that?
Like, I'm 100% coming home.
You're like, wait, now what do I do?
I know, so like real quick, how do we make it a better experience?
So this is what I do for a living, right? We have to keep lines of communication open. We want to avoid this, you go to bed, it doesn't have to be hard. Boundaries can be loving, firm, and kind. You have to be clear with what bedtime is, and then maybe we can be some flexibility in there. So I'll give you an example. In my house, we say bedtime is 8. Between 8 and 8:30, our girls go upstairs. What they do in their room is up to them. So they can read, sometimes they do dances in their mirror, who knows? They do lots of things, and then at 8:30, we pop our heads in and say, lights out. So there's some flexibility. I'm a big fan of offering a really relaxing routine. This is a great area to add flexibility. What do you do in your routine? Bath, books, bed? Ask your kids, get them involved.
Amanda, I love that. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.